Hey everyone, it's the Green Scorpion here, and welcome to the very first episode of the Green Scorpion's Q&A. Before we begin, I just want to let you guys know, if you want to ask any questions, there's a link in the video description that links to the introduction video of this series. Ask your questions there if you have any. If you ask anywhere else, I'll probably miss it. I picked 15 questions at random to ask for this video, so let's say we get started, huh? The first question is from Wolf DJ. What do you think of Halo? I think Halo is okay. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not really my thing, personally. I was never a huge fan of first-person shooters, actually, because I find them kind of repetitive. I think Halo's a good game, just not my thing. Okay, the next question is, Evil Electra and Advaki ask, what's your favorite video game franchise? That would definitely be The Legend of Zelda. I've always been a fan of Zelda ever since I was, I think around my pre-teens, I guess. I started out with Ocarina of Time, and it basically went from there. It soon followed up to Majora's Mask, and then I got into the handheld Zelda games. I eventually found the retro games, the first Zelda and Link to the Past. I think it's an amazing franchise, and it's definitely my favorite. Okay, next question. The Canebot asks, how did you get more viewers? I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question. I mean, I basically just went with it, and I basically started making videos. I uploaded them. I tried to tell people, you know, I started out with my friends, told them about my videos. They told their friends, and if they thought it was good, then they told other friends. It basically, you gotta start out small, basically, and from there, it pretty much builds up. So, if you're ever going to get into YouTube and, like, make videos kind of like what us YouTubers do, definitely, you don't have high expectations that you're going to upload something and all of a sudden it's going to be the biggest thing on the planet. It's not like that. So, I hope that answers your question. Now, next question comes from Retarded Scraggy. What is your favorite Conker's Bad Fur Day music track besides Slow Prano and Windy & Co? That would definitely be Count Batula's theme. I loved that theme. That level was definitely one of the most disturbing parts of the game, but that music just gets me every time. It's very dark, it's very fast-paced. I really love that track, and there's actually a piano cover of that song as well that I think is a part of the soundtrack. I gotta look that up still, but Count Batula's theme, definitely another favorite on the soundtrack. Next question. iFatDog asks, have you played Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom? If so, do you like it? Yes, I have played Battle for Bikini Bottom, and in fact, I actually do like it. I don't think it's a spectacular game, but it's definitely underrated, mainly because it's a SpongeBob game. I mean, what do you expect from a SpongeBob game? However, it's actually done very well, especially for a licensed game. It basically has classic 3D platforming, there are abilities, you can play as different characters. It basically follows the same formula of collecting, of the Star Collection in Super Mario 64, except this time it's golden spatulas, and the boss battles were actually very enjoyable. If you want maybe like a full consensus on it or something like that, check out Fawful's Minion. He actually explained it in one of his videos, I believe. So, next question comes from JRGamer27. What do you think of the Final Destination movies? It's not really my thing. Final Destination, don't get me wrong, I do think that Final Destination is a great movie. Or the Final Destination movies in general. I never got into them personally. I'm not exactly sure how to explain. I'm just not into those kind of movies. Maybe someone will ask me what kind of movies I like or something like that later on. So I'll save that part for later. Next question comes from Ouija082. What are your thoughts on Earthworm Jim? I love Earthworm Jim. I explained this in my top 10 animals countdown. Earthworm Jim is definitely a great game. Platforming, classic platforming at its finest. It's for the Sega Genesis, which is the console I grew up with. It's definitely a good game, and again, Earthworm Jim is pretty 1990s corny, but it's really awesome. Next question comes from MaxiBoy561. What's the saddest game you have ever played? Metal Gear Solid 4. good lord, that game pulls in your heartstrings. Like, seriously. I'm gonna avoid spoiling anything, but let's just say that Snake is going through a lot, as well as all the other characters in the game, especially Otacon. I really feel bad for him. Like, seriously, just wow. Like, if you want a full consensus on the game, I do remember the Autarch of Flame and the Fiery Joker made a top 10 saddest moments. They explain it in that list pretty well if you want to know anything about that. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4, definitely the saddest game I've played. Next game, or not next game, next question comes from Mega WTF Gamer. I almost said that, you know. What's the hardest game you have ever played? Okay, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but if I had to choose the hardest game I've ever played, it's the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. That series is unforgiving. To this day, I haven't even beaten the first Ninja Gaiden game. I can't beat... How do I explain? Like, I have played all three of them. I have yet to beat either one of them. It's way too difficult for me. I cannot beat it. And I guess another game would be Super Meat Boy, which that game is hard as hell. But yeah, that game, I was actually able to beat Super Meat Boy, and the fact that I can't beat Ninja Gaiden pretty much puts it above Super Meat Boy in my opinion. Okay, the next question comes from RBDude98. Have you ever considered visiting St. Louis? Haven't ever considered it, but if you're there, if I'm ever there, then I'll give you a call, RB Dude. Next question comes from a couple people, Ninja Hero, and once again, Mega WTF Gamer. What was the first game you have ever played? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was the very first game I ever owned, the very first game I ever played, and the Sega Genesis was the very first console I ever owned. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is honestly one of my favorite games of all time. Not just because of nostalgia, but because of how great the game was as a whole. And it also led to my fandom of the Sonic series in general. But some of the newer games, pretty subpar. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the very first game I ever played. It basically started my career as a gamer. And I still love it to this day. I even have a hard copy of it in my room. Okay, so the next question comes from a couple people again. Sam Riccio and EndlessEnd2646 ask, what is your favorite Sonic game? Huh, we just got into this. Okay, actually no. While Sonic 2 is the first game I ever played, my favorite Sonic game is definitely Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Everything about that game is spectacular. The platforming, the speed, the power-ups, the music. Oh my lord, that music. I absolutely love the soundtrack to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Definitely one of the best soundtracks out there. And if you have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, even better. Like, those games are spectacular, and it's definitely my favorite Sonic game of all time. I absolutely love it. Okay, so, next question comes from the Spiral Witcher CW. What do you think of pirating torrents and free downloading games? I'm not against it. Like, I'll be completely honest, I'm a little guilty of it myself. But, I'm not totally against it. I mean, come on, is Nintendo or Sega gonna make any more money out of those old retro-style, retro-school games? Even if they did sell them, I mean, come on. It's not gonna make much of a difference. In my opinion, pirating torrents, downloading games for free, and all that, it's always going to be around no matter what the industry does. Me personally, I don't mind it. So, you know, it's whatever. Okay, once again, this is another question from JRGamer27. What is your favorite Pokemon type? That would definitely be Ghost. I love Ghost-type Pokemon. And don't even get me started with Gengar, alright? That guy... Like, Gengar is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. In fact, anytime I play Pokemon, Gengar is on my team. Always. I get a Ghastly, level it up to a Gengar, one of the best on my team. And there are other great ghost types out there as well, like Miss Drevis and, oh, Chandelure from Generation 5. Great Pokemon. So yeah, favorite Pokemon type, definitely Ghost. Okay, so we're going down to the last question, and this one is from Timothy the Pachirisu. What's your opinion on the newest Mario Party, that being Mario Party 9? I like it. I was definitely, how do I put it? I didn't like it at first because of how different it was from all the previous Mario Party games, but after playing it with a couple of friends and getting used to how it plays, I actually really like it. The gameplay is spectacular, and they definitely upped it with the minigames in this game. It's not like Mario Party 8 where you just shake a stick, as you guys probably know where that reference is from, but they definitely stepped it up with the minigames in this game. I love playing the minigames. The boss battles are spectacular, and Mario Party 9, in my opinion, is worth the time to play it. It's really good, in my opinion. So, well, that does it for this episode of the Green Scorpion's Q&A. Once again, if you guys want to ask any more questions, click the link in the video description to link to the introduction video and ask your questions there. I am the Green Scorpion, and I will be back next time with episode 2 of the Green Scorpion's Q&A. See you guys then.